U.S. Central Command says 3 fighter jets were shot down by friendly fire from Kuwaiti forces. CENTCOM says all 6 crew members aboard the jets ejected, were safely recovered, and are in stable condition. Now, CNN geolocated video that appears to be an F-15 falling from the sky, the pilot parachuting out. There's also video that appears to show a pilot safe on the ground after ejecting. Now, the aircraft were F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jets. CENTCOM says Kuwaiti air defenses mistakenly shot them down during active combat that included attacks from Iranian aircraft, ballistic missiles, and drones. The cause of the incident under investigation. Now, CNN following all the latest developments from around the globe, the White House, the Gulf, inside Saudi Arabia, and Israel. Let's start there. Our Nick Payton-Walsh is in Tel Aviv with the very latest on the loss of 3 U.S. aircrafts. That's a significant loss all at once, Nick.
It is startling to see 3 involved in a friendly fire incident like this, and I think it brings home the jeopardy that US troops face as this conflict widens. Look, it's clear that CENTCOM are saying here this was an active combat area. Likely, it seems, if you interpret what they said, that Kuwaiti air defenses were engaging drones, missiles, other things at the time, and mistook these F-15s as legitimate targets too. That is essentially the consequence of the war that the United States is in here. President Trump warned yesterday that there could potentially be more US casualties. There's been 3 so far, and let's face it, this was clearly a near miss. All 6 crew ejecting safely and now being in a stable condition, having been recovered by the US military.
We want to talk about how this happened, and here to do that is retired Army Brigadier General Steve Anderson. Thank you so much for being here, because we're going to talk not just about that plane, but also the sort of pros and cons of doing an air campaign with the goal of regime change, which is not something history has shown us really before. So first, talk about what you were seeing with that F-15. Give us the context of what our capabilities are in the region.
Well, there's probably at least 30 or so F-15s that are stationed there in Kuwait. And they all, no doubt, took part in this massive air campaign that took over the weekend. Over 1,000 sorties were flown. You have to remember that it was an incredibly complex operation involving the Lincoln carrier battle group, the Ford carrier battle group out in the Mediterranean, all the bases that we have in the Middle East. Without a doubt, there was probably Tomahawk missiles launched from submarines, in fact. So it was an incredibly complex operation. So the fact that we'd have some kind of collision or some kind of an incident, is not that, it's not that remarkable. But what is remarkable is the performance of the American military in this and the Israeli military to have done what they've done over the last couple of days without a single shoot down is pretty remarkable.
Those aircraft were F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jets. The cause of the incident, of course, continues to be looked at, but those jets are just some of the assets that the U.S. is deploying in the air as this war expands. The military is also using remotely piloted MQ-9 Reaper drones. They carry Hellfire missiles and guided bombs. They are also using B-2 stealth bombers, valued at, just so you know, more than $1